Hello and welcome to another chess video. Today I'm going to be posting two videos because I've been a little slow and I haven't been keeping up with my promise of one video per day. So in the second video I will be showing a student game, but in this video I want to share with you a puzzle. And this is not just a normal puzzle, it's a composition created by Zaitsev, who is known to make several different difficult high-level compositions. And the difference between a composition and a puzzle, uh, I'm not an expert on this, and somebody else can maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but compositions are usually much more complex, much more deep, and the solution is often more beautiful. Like a puzzle is something that you can do in like 5 minutes, whereas a composition is something that you might need to take a lot more time to study and a lot more time to solve. And the solution often has more lines than a normal puzzle. So this is a training composition, and I assume in the Soviet Union that Soviet players were given this puzzle as part of their training regimen in order to solve. And because it's a composition and didn't come out of a real game, you have to assume that the solution is pretty incredible. So I was really excited. I solved this puzzle a couple months ago, and I came back across it. I found it in a book called Perfect Your Chess, which is a book full of difficult puzzles that you can solve on paper. Uh, and this is just one of those puzzles that, like, when I saw it, I wanted to share with everybody. I sent it in text to everybody. I showed it to chess players in person. And now I'm making a video because I just really want to share it with you guys, so that you can behold something part of what I find beautiful about chess. So it's white to move, and at this point, I really recommend that you stop the video and you try to solve it on your own. I'm not telling you if it's a checkmate. I'm not telling you if you win material, but it's white to move and win. At this point, you should unpause your video if you'd like to hear the answer. The first move is bishop e7. And this is kind of remarkable because you're putting your bishop on pre, where it can be taken 3 times. And on top of that, your queen is hanging at the same time. So it's just like, how could this possibly work for white? At this point, it would be a nice training exercise for you to try to calculate all of the lines. And yes, you have to start with, what if he takes your queen? What if he takes your bishop with his bishop? What if he takes your bishop with his rook? What if he takes your bishop with his queen? So you need to calculate all 3 of those lines and find the win in each of those lines. This could be another point for you to stop the video. Okay, so we're going to go over how the lines go. The very first thing you should calculate is, let's say, what if he takes your queen, right? This is a pretty nice line. First, you take with check, and notice that your bishops are just raking across the board over there. So his king only has 1 square. And now you go f4. And in compositions, usually pieces are not in random places for no reason. This rook was on a2 for a very good reason. It's not there by accident. So f4 with the threat of mate. He captures en passant. And then you check, because if you check right away, he might be getting away here. And this is hanging, so that's not precise. First you take en passant with check, and we're going to mate him with all checks here. Check, check, and can you find the mate? Very good. There's different kinds, but this is the fastest. That's a very nice mate. The black king starting on his side of the board and running all the way up to get mated by the minor pieces. This bishop still hanging 3 times. So let's check this out. Bishop e7. Next. Now let's say he just takes it with his queen. If he takes it with his queen, you just play queen f5, and it looks like there's going to be a mate. Now, I just spotted. Oh yeah, I got worried because I was like, oh wait, I didn't account for queen takes e4. But queen takes e4. Can you find the mate? Mate in 1. Very nice. H takes g4. Game over. Checkmate with a pawn. Which, by the way, is other than smothered mate, checkmating with a pawn is my favorite kind of checkmate. And otherwise, you got queen f5. I don't think there's any other way for him to delay the inevitable. So that's over. Let's say he takes with the rook. I think that's pretty easy, right? So those lines, you can get through them pretty quickly. And let's say he takes with the bishop. This is a harder line. Gets fine, queen e6 check. And then you might think, oh, he's blocked it. How do I continue? But first you check. Excuse me. Sorry. First you check, and taking is forced because, once again, all the exit squares are blocked. Takes, you go check, and you deliver checkmate with the battery of queen and bishop. And so it turns out that everything loses. After bishop e7, the bishop cannot be captured in any way. The king has no escape squares, so you can't run with the king anywhere. And you're also putting the bishop in the way. If he doesn't capture, this is a threat. So this bishop move is sort of it's called a disruption tactic. You are throwing a wrench in the middle of your opponent's forces. You are discoordinating his pieces from the defense. Incredibly, this one bishop prevents 3 pieces from defending the king side. And so the king, even when you capture the queen, this is the nicest line, just to go over it again, even at the cost of a queen, the pieces are so active, and the checkmate occurs solely because this bishop is blocking all of the defenders. So this is probably the nicest disruption tactic that I've ever seen, and I was very happy to share it with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something and that you took the time to solve it by yourself before you watch the answer at the end. Thanks for watching.